I have some proven, track record. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw the receipts right here. I have proven methods that help me pay my bills on time, 100% on time payments, literally since my early 20s when I actually started building my credit. So I want to share with you guys today some of my, not skills, but some of my tips and tricks that I do to make sure that I stay on time, that I build wealth for myself, and then I create an environment, at least financially, that allows me to thrive. So make sure you stick around for all that and more. It's Crystal with the Cash Compass. All right, welcome back. I am here to teach you all the things that you should have learned in school about money, but for whatever reason, they forgot to mention it. Please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. We talk about everything from personal finance to investing to the economy. Let's get into it. All right, my personal finance playlist has been getting neglected because I have been hell-bent on the government, but I'm gonna talk about it right now. And if you didn't know I had playlists, I do. Go ahead and click this right here for my personal finance playlist, and I have a bunch more on my channel, so check them out. Please note that is the only thing about me that you could play. All right, now that the administrative stuff is done, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this conversation. So like I said before, I've had nonstop on-time payments since my early 20s when I was starting to build my credit in college. Of course, I wouldn't say that I was always amazing with money. I have pretty much been a stickler all my life about money, but there's certain things that I learned, as I moved through life that really helped me plan things out better and keep better track. Because I think what I suffered from, and I think a lot of people suffer from this too, so let me know, is that I would just spend, and then it's like, reality hits you and you're like, wow, okay, I kind of got a little bit loose this weekend, kind of spent too much, afraid to check your bank account. I've been there, okay? But now, since I have kind of fine-tuned my budgeting, I've never really had to feel that way again. I know that what I have in my account every single week, I know exactly how much I have to spend, how much I could splurge on, and all that jazz. So the first thing, which of course no one likes, but it's absolutely crucial, is budgeting, and budgeting weekly. When I first started doing my budgeting, I was budgeting honestly more than one time a week because I didn't have it down packed yet. I was still trying to figure out exactly what it meant to budget, right? Because it's like, I felt like I need everything that I was buying, so it's like, okay, I could budget, but I do need to buy these clothes. I do need to buy these shoes. I do need to go on vacation, and those are things that I do think people need. You want to enjoy life. I don't think it's right to just save all your money and never go anywhere. That's terrible, and we don't endorse that around here. But I particularly have two different things that I do that I'll actually have a separate video about, going into detail about my real budget. I use an Excel spreadsheet because I'm an accountant, and I wouldn't be an accountant if I didn't like an Excel spreadsheet. But I use the Excel spreadsheet just to kind of track my accounts, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. And then I also use Mint, which is a great website, honestly. It helps kind of put your budget into categories, and it creates just a nice little kind of pictorial of what's going on, so you can really visualize it. Another thing that I really like about them is that you can see a whole bunch of metrics. You can see your spending over time. If you type in Starbucks, you'll see, okay, I spent too much money at Starbucks, and things like that. So it's a great tool. But again, if you guys are interested in a video like that, definitely let me know in the comments, and I will have a dedicated video kind of going over my budget, going over what I have as my categories or whatever. With the Excel spreadsheet, and don't get afraid of that. You don't have to even do this, but I just do this because it's helpful. And I'll just basically put out how much money I have in my bank accounts, how much bills I have. Like, I literally have a sheet that explains, okay, here's my bills. I don't include savings because savings is automatically, it just comes out, okay? I don't even touch my savings account. But I just list all that out. I list all the money that I have coming in from, my different revenue. And then I just see what I'm left with, how much money that I can actually spend. So again, I will do that. I will have a dedicated video to that a little bit later on in life. Another thing that I actually saw on the internet that I thought was really interesting is, if you're somebody who maybe, numbers aren't your thing, maybe you don't want to do Mint right now, I definitely think that you should. But if you're someone who's not really ready for that step, another tip that I thought was amazing, and I've actually seen it work in my life, is if you don't want to budget numerically, budget how much times that you go somewhere, right? So it's like, I'm only going to go to Starbucks once a week, or I'm only going to go to the grocery store every 2 weeks. And that's a true story for me. Before COVID, I used to go to the grocery store every single week because I don't eat meat. So I have to always go and get fresh produce. So I thought, but then I realized that if I go every 2 weeks, my produce still lasts. And actually, I spend dramatically less money, and it's just so weird. I don't even understand why, but there's something about just going to the store all the time that maybe you have more time to look around, or things just get more tempting. So maybe reduce the amount of times that you go somewhere as opposed to the amount of money you spend, because if you go there less, quite naturally you're gonna spend less. Next tip is autopay is life, okay? Don't sleep on autopay. If you don't like autopay, then maybe you are not really budgeting that well, okay? And I'm only saying that, I'm speaking from my experience. I don't want to trigger anybody, but I know back in the day, I did not want to do autopay. I was like, it's my money. I'm gonna pay you when I pay you. Don't come snatching things out of my account, okay? But honestly, I've switched to that, and the peace of mind I get is fantastic. I know when everything is coming out of my account, so I know how much money I need to have in my account, so there's never really a problem. I think I've had one situation out of the whole years that I've been doing this where money was taken out of my account wrongfully, but every other time has been great. I know a lot of people's reservations is, well, what if they take money out of my account they're not supposed to, or whatever the case may be. In that situation, I was able to get that money reversed and give back to me. So I think that it just depends, but honestly, they're going to take out however much they're supposed to take out. I have not experienced many situations, like I said, at all, where my money was taken out wrongfully, or it was too much money, or it came too early. I mean, it's normally like clockwork. You can actually set the day you want the money to come out, and you are good to go. This allows me to avoid any late fees, because even if you have the money, sometimes you forget, right? Life happens. Like, there's been times before I did autopay where I had the money, but maybe I was on vacation and I totally forgot about that bill, and then I have to sit there and pay the bill plus a late fee when I wasn't even supposed to be late because I had the money, right? So it just kind of gives you peace of mind. The next thing I do is I have 2 separate bank accounts. One that is for all my bills and one that is for my miscellaneous spending, okay? So at the end of the month, I know the money in my bill account should pretty much be near zero. I do put a buffer in there just in case certain things go a little bit over, right? Because not all my bills are exact amounts, like my utilities, for example. So I always leave a little bit of a buffer for that. But I know at the end of the month, if I have like $700 in that account, I'm like, okay, something went wrong, right? What happened? And then I can kind of investigate. So it really helps kind of keep everything separate. And on top of that, and honestly, I don't do this. This is not really something I use as much now, because now I'm like addicted to using my credit card for every single thing, because I get so much points back with Capital One. Like, Capital One, for some reason, their rewards program is on point, and I love it so much. So I'm always using my credit card for everything. And then if you pay your balance off, I think you get like an extra 25% or whatever. And it's not a credit card video, but the point is, with my other account, at least I know, okay, I have X amount of dollars to spend on whatever. If I want to go to the mall, if I want to go on vacation, I know I can spend this money. And even if I spend my last dollar, my lights are still going to be on, and my house is still going to be paid for, and things like that. Any extra money that I have that's in my bill account that I did not use gets swept to my savings. So that's also additional savings, so it's been really helpful. The next and most important thing is I say no, okay? I say no a lot. I say no when it comes to going out. I say no when it comes to people asking me for money, and that's like a whole separate video that I want to talk about, helping versus enabling. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments too. But you have to put your foot down. I mean, going outside is so expensive. Like, I'm looking out the window and I already owe somebody $5, okay? So don't go outside. I mean, obviously everything is in moderation, but I don't know where you guys live, but I live in Miami. I went to brunch the other day and it was $70, okay? I damn near fell out. I do not like eating out. I do not like going out there. It is expensive. It is ghetto. So do it in moderation. I don't really go out that often. And when I do, I really do enjoy myself. But if you're doing brunch every single Sunday, like, bottomless brunch is $25, which... who approved that? But it's expensive. So learn how to tell your friends no, or suggest free options. Like, the beach is always free, right? A couple of places that are like a nice vibe, maybe like a lounge with no cover. You can still enjoy nice music, with or without your mask. I don't know what you guys are doing. Miami's open AF, okay? So, go out and enjoy for the free. Okay, when people ask you for money, if you cannot afford to give it to them, do not lend it to them, because if they don't give it back to you, it's going to be a problem, okay? Trust me. It's hard, but it's so possible to be disciplined. It all really comes down to being disciplined, right? You can have the money. You can see millionaires going broke because they don't have the discipline to actually keep the money in their hand and actually pay things off when they're supposed to be paid off. They just kind of live on this YOLO thing, which is fine, but you have to schedule your YOLO, right? Your YOLO can't be every single day. YOLO has to be like, okay, maybe once a month, maybe once every other month, I'm going to just enjoy, splurge. I work hard for this money, so I'm going to spend it how I want to. But what I've explained really helps keep everything in line, and it keeps you just kind of, it keeps you grounded. When you're looking at your budget every single week, you know what's coming in, what's coming out, and you know exactly what you're going to be paying for, because your bills are organized by the due date. And that's what I said I'm going to show you guys in a later video. If you have any tips, like I said, definitely drop it below and let everybody else know. But that will do it. If you like this video, then please like this video and share it with your friends. And if you have anything else going on, you know what to do. Go ahead and binge watch me. And until next time, keep your money up.